Good afternoon, folks. It's Mr. Kowalczyk here with a video about business math. Today we are going to start up Chapter 5. And in Chapter 5, what you are finding is that we're talking about savings accounts. Savings accounts are a great way for people to save money and even earn a little bit of money as time goes on. You see, saving money is important, especially if we want to reach any goals in life, like going to college, purchasing a car, or maybe even a fancy vacation. What's great about savings accounts is that many of the savings accounts that are out there in the world that banks have, they'll pay you a little bit of money for keeping the money there. So it's even better to put money in a savings account than an old-fashioned piggy bank. Well, what we're talking about today is Section 5-1, and what we're talking about are savings deposit slips. Today we're going to look at a total of 2 different types of saving deposit slips. This one right here looks very similar to one we've seen before for checking deposit slips. But we're also going to do a second one right here. And this one's going to be a little bit different. Alright? Now, to get us rolling, let's first start with this one right here. On November 9th, Wally Wilson wants to deposit 2 different checks. Check number 4032 for $509.80 and check number 8120 for $100. He would also like to receive $75 in cash back. His account number is 928-10543. So once again, there's his account number. We've got a lot of great info here. That we are going to need in order to fill out this slip below. So let's get started. First off, what they're asking for is this person's name, Wally Wilson. Now for this part, when you're writing in his name, you can just print it out if you'd like. With the date, you can write it out in numbers, or you can write it out in words, or even abbreviate it like I'm doing. Either way works. And then of course, the account number. Notice how I'm using the color red. That way it matches up with the red underline, showing where I got this number from. Now, after we've got this info filled out, it's now time to go over to the right side of the deposit slip. Do we have any currency? Do we have any coins? That's what we need to look for first. Well, when you look through this paragraph for number 1 right here, you will find that there's nothing about cash mentioned other than the cash received back. But that's not this. That's for something else. So we don't have to put anything here whatsoever. Now don't put an X or anything. I'm just letting you know that we don't put anything there for this problem. Next we find checks. And do we have any checks? Why, yes we do. We have 2 of them. 2 different checks. The first check is 4032 for $509.80. So we plug that in right there. And then we've got one more check, 8120 for $100 even. We write those in there nice and neatly. The one thing I want to point out is you always put the coins right there in that column, and you always put the dollar amounts, the full dollar amounts, right there in that column. So now that we've gotten the checks written out, we can start doing the subtotal. And hopefully you remember that whenever you do a subtotal, what you are doing is adding up those 2 checks, or adding up any of the numbers, that fall right here. Do we have any less cash received? Well, less cash received is a fancy way of saying, hey, does Wally want to keep any extra money for himself? Well, yes he does. He wants to keep $75 for himself. So we put in 75 right there. And because it uses the word less, what we now need to do is subtract. And actually, before we do that, I forgot one thing. What we also have to do is sign Wally's name, and you do it in cursive. Sorry, I'm being a little bit sloppy right now because I'm using my mouse. But we sign his name in cursive. And then as I was saying, because of the word less, we're now going to subtract. That's right. What we're basically going to do is take that blue number and that green number and subtract them. We're going to subtract them out. And so, I'm going to take out my calculator real quick. And we get our final answer of $534.80. So that's the first type of problem you're going to find. And let me point out that this example right here is just an example. It's not actually a part of your homework. Now, if you need to go back and look at that example, go ahead and click pause and go back, but we're going to keep moving on because we've got a lot more to look at. That's right, a lot more to look at. We've got this different type of deposit slip. Notice how it has a front, and notice how it has a back. In the bank, you would actually pick this up, and all you would see is this on the front. If you flipped it over, then you'd see that. That's why I wrote the words front of slip and back of slip right there. Well, on December 1st, Juan Martinez makes a deposit in his savings account. He has 3 checks. Here they all are. I'm underlining them. He also has a bunch of cash and coins. The cash is $50 bills, $20 bills, $5 bills, and 29 $1 bills. You see, what we're talking about with cash is green paper money. And then he also has some coins. And I'm going to underline all those coins right there. The one thing that he also wants is to receive 2 $100 bills back in cash. And then last but not least, he does also have an account number. So if you go through and read this whole thing, you're going to notice all of this great info. I'm going to do my best to type this all out in different colors to help you really see what's going on here. First off, we need an account number. And we get that right there from the text. Let's see if I can make that a little bit bigger. 506-18890. That's the account number. The date is 12-1- of course, this year, 2015, is when this video is being made. And then the name of the person, Juan Martinez. All right? And so, we've got that beginning info figured out. But now what we have to do is the currency. Here's the thing. The currency are all those green numbers up here. And what you have to do is a lot of math. You're going to have to do a lot of math. Let's see if I can kind of show this for you. Hopefully you can see this on your screens. So what we're going to have to do is take 11, and actually let's make this green. 11 times $50. Then you're going to take 3 times $20. You're going to take 5 times $5. And 29 times $1. And here's the thing, folks. You have to add the answers up to all of those. That's right. You're going to find the answers for all of those and then add it up. And once you do that, what you're going to get is $664. I'm going to really quick erase that because we don't really need that. But what you basically do is after you add all that up, what you get, as I just said, is $664. So that's just all the green numbers for currency. For coins, you're going to do pretty much the same exact thing. That's right, you can do the same exact thing for coins. But pay attention. For quarters, you're going to multiply it 10 times whatever the dollar amount is for a quarter, which is 0.25, 25 cents. 12 dimes, which is 0.10 for 10 cents. 21 nickels is now be careful here, it's 0.05, not 0.5, 0.05. And then 92 pennies, which is 0.01. Now, if you multiply all that stuff out, get their 4 answers, and then add up those 4 answers, you will find your total dollar amount, and it just so happens that it's $5.67. And where are you going to write $5.67? Right here with coins. Now, yes, it's $5.67. You're not going to put the 5 up above in the green number. You're still going to leave it in the coins box. So it's $5.67 right there. Whew. We've done the currency. We've done the coins. Now it's time for checks. And checks, you fill out on the back. That's right. Checks you fill out on the back. And we have 3 different checks. And I better write these in red to keep us color coordinated. Makes it a little bit easier, I think, for people to understand. So, you have $55. And then you have another check for $50.75. And then you have one more check for $185.50. So any checks that you have actually go, on the back. They actually go on the back of this slip. And so we list them all out. Like I said, we only have 3 of them, but we're going to list them all out right there, and we're going to write the total down at the bottom. We also write that total right here. After adding them up and writing down the numbers and doing all that, we write the total on the front as well. Next up, we try and find the subtotal. In order to find the subtotal, we add up all 3 of these numbers. And so I've added them up, and the dollar amount that we get is $960.92. Now, we can move on to less cash back. Is this person keeping any money for themselves? Well, in purple, up in the paragraph, we see that they're keeping $200 for themselves. We see that in purple. And then, since they're keeping money for themselves, you sign their name in cursive. I'm trying to do it a little bit of a scribble since I'm using the mouse. But yeah, you sign their name and you write $200 right there because Juan wants to keep $200 for himself. The last step for this problem is subtracting. Because it has the word less right there, we subtract. And what we're going to do is we're going to take $960 minus $200. And what we get is our final answer for our deposit, $760.92. This was kind of a long problem right here, but it's good to know how to do these problems, how to do the math for currency and coins, where to put the checks on the back of the slip. Not all banks use the same savings deposit slip. They don't all use the same savings deposit slips. Some of them look like this, and some of them will look like this. You need to be prepared to fill them out correctly, regardless of what bank you use. Thanks, and until next time, have a great day.